The Shema is the fire of Mashiach. Opening, my friends, I want to begin tonight with a simple but thunderous question. How will the fire of Mashiach, the fire that will heal, purify, and transform the world, be lit? And not only lit, how will it be fanned? How will it spread until the whole world is ablaze with God's light? The answer, I believe, is hidden in the words we say twice every day, words that we sometimes rush through, but which hold the secret of redemption. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hear, O Israel, Hashem is our God. Hashem is one. I, the spark, God's oneness. The Shema is not just a verse. It is the declaration of reality itself. The Torah tells us, Deuteronomy 4:35, you have been shown to know that Hashem is God. There is none else besides him. What does this mean? That the world is not fragmented, not divided between competing forces. There is only one. The Talmud, Barakot 13a, says that when we recite Shema, we are accepting the yoke of heaven. In other words, we are aligning ourselves with the truth that God's oneness is not just an idea, it is the foundation of existence. The Rambam explains that God's oneness is unlike anything we can compare it to. Everything else is composed of parts, but God is absolute unity. To say Hashem Echad is to say that behind the illusion of separation, everything is sourced in that unity. This is the spark. The fire of Mashiach begins here with the realization that God is one and there is nothing else. The flame. Oneness and love. But how does this spark become a flame? The Shema doesn't stop at declaring God's oneness. Immediately afterwards, it commands, you shall love Hashem your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And later in the Torah, we are commanded, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Leviticus 19:18. Rabbi Akiva called this a great principle of the Torah. Why? Because if God is one, then his creation is also one. To hurt another is to hurt yourself. To love another is to extend God's love into the world. The Tanya, chapter 32, explains that all Jewish souls are one because each is literally a part of God above. Bodies may appear separate, but the soul is indivisible. To recognize the Shema is to recognize this unity, and therefore to love without strings, without ego. And this is where your insight shines. Love is not a drug or a fleeting feeling. It is not something that intoxicates us for a moment and then leaves us empty. Love, according to Torah, is servitude to a higher power. It is care for another without strings attached. It is recognizing the one in the other and serving God by serving his children. This is the flame, the fire of unity and love that grows from the spark of Shema. And 3, the fire of Mashiach. Now we return to our opening question. How will Mashiach's fire be lit and fanned? The prophet Obadiah says, 1:18, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau like stubble. Fire here means truth. The illusions of separateness, of false gods, of power without morality, these will be burned away. And Zechariah 14:9 paints the vision of redemption. On that day, Hashem will be king over all the earth. On that day, Hashem will be one and his name one. That is the day when the Shema will no longer just be Israel's private prayer. It will be humanity's shared song. The oneness of God, which has always been true, will be acknowledged everywhere, by everyone. And how do we get there? By living the Shema now, by declaring it not just with our mouths, but with our actions, by lighting small fires of love, of truth, of unity, until they join together into the great fire of Mashiach. Practical steps fanning the fire. 1. Kavana and Shema. Next time you say Shema, pause. Imagine God's oneness filling all of reality, past, present, future. Imagine that nothing exists outside him. This transforms the words into fuel for the flame. 2. Redefining love. Shift love from what do I get to what can I give. Every act of kindness, every moment of compassion is an act of proclaiming Hashem Echad. 3 mitzvot as firewood. Each mitzvah is another log thrown onto the fire, even the small ones. A blessing with concentration, a smile to a stranger, a moment of Torah learning. They all stoke the flame of Mashiach. V. Closing vision. My friends, the Shema is not only a prayer, it is a torch. It begins as a spark in our lips, becomes a flame in our hearts, and grows into a fire that can consume the darkness of the world. When we live Shema, when we see God as one, when we see humanity as one, when we serve through love without ego, then we fan the fire of Mashiach. And soon may it be speedily in our days the words of Zechariah will be fulfilled. On that day, Hashem will be one and his name one, and the fire of Mashiach will blaze across the world, not destroying but purifying, until only love, unity, and the light of the one remain.